Hey guys, so I just want to share this with you. I'm very aggravated. So in preparation for garden season this year, I went and brought in a couple truckloads of soil and raised up the level of the soil in my garden beds so that they weren't concave and everything. And everything's been doing well, everything's growing. However, the soil was contaminated with the seeds of spiny pigweed, and it's everywhere, and it grows crazy fast. And this is probably the worst weed I've ever seen in my life. It's definitely an invasive species, maybe not geographically, but it's definitely invasive in my garden. I've got my heavy leather work gloves that I'm using today, and these are barely enough to do the job. Let me show you this stuff. So if you look right here, you'll see this weed that's just everywhere. Now this in particular is an area where I planted some pepper seeds, and you can see a little pepper plant coming up right there. But then you see this, and this is spiny pigweed, and it's everywhere. And let me show you the worst thing about this. Not only does it obviously grow like crazy, but it has this great big long taproot, which is hard to get out. But even worse, I'm hoping you can see this, all along the stem of the plant, right where you would reach to pull the thing out, are wicked thorns. Wicked thorns, and they're actually trying to go through these gloves, if that tells you anything. So this is what I'm out here doing today, because we got rain, so the soil is soft. So I'm trying to get these out as much as I possibly can. And these are definitely not going into the compost pile. I'm gonna burn this stuff. This is horrible. Everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And the reason that I know that I brought these in with the soil that I purchased is because this is the only place it exists on my property. My son walks out here in the yard barefoot all the time, and if this was in my yard, he'd have found it the first time. But I mean, I can look at the grass out here and it's nowhere to be found. But as soon as I get right here to the garden, it's everywhere. Hey guys, so I wanted to give you a little bit of an update on my garden beds I have over here, the ones that were the really lousy soil, organic soil that I bought from the store. So I put in a whole bunch of rabbit manure and some blood meal and things like that a few days ago. So let me show you where we're at. So as you can see here, this section was parsley. I've got a couple little sprouts right here, and I've actually got a couple that look like they're trying to do something now. They weren't before. The oregano here, I do see one itty bitty little sprout right there. Oh, there's a couple more. There's a couple more. Oh, well, there you go. I didn't see any of those the other day. My thyme right here is turning green again. It was yellow. And this little one right here has actually got some growth to it. So that's a good sign. Oh, look there. There's an oregano plant. Okay, this is my sage. My sage, again, still pretty yellow, but the leaves in the middle are green. So that looks like it might be bouncing back. My peppermint never came up, but I planted it right here in full sun, and it's actually not a sun plant, so I don't expect anything there. My marjoram, marjoram never came up. My chives had started to come up, and then, you know, the whole depleted soil thing. I've got like a couple right there, and all of the rest are pretty much toast, so I don't expect to see any of those come back. I'd be shocked if they did. Over on this side, there really wasn't any thyme that came up over here. Oh, wait. There's some right there, so maybe. Jalapeno peppers. I only had a couple that came forth. One right there and one over there. They're in wait and see status. Peppermint, again, not a full sun plant. Shouldn't have planted it here to begin with. Over here I've got some Genovese basil that has come up. A couple of them are doing pretty well. This one's getting eaten by something. And we'll see. They're looking a little bit more green than they were the other day. Still a little yellow, but you know, we'll see. Caraway. I don't recall if any of this had even come up. I don't see any, and I don't remember seeing any. Oh, wait. That might be one right there. That might be one, so we'll have to see what happens. Cinnamon basil. My cinnamon basil looks like it's coming along. There's a few of them popping up here. So we'll see those. And then this over here, this was mullein. And I will be honest with you, I have never been able to get mullein to grow. It grows wild. It grows on the side of the interstate. It grows everywhere no plant should grow. But I can't get it to grow in a garden. And then over in this one, I've got... These are spinach plants that had started to grow and then just did nothing. I don't know if they'll come back or not. We'll just have to kind of wait and see. My purslane's doing beautifully, as you can see. The beans, again, these are just pathetic. These were the first things to look horrible when the soil went bad. Now these younger leaves right here got a little bit of green to them. So do those new ones right there. So I have hope. I have hope. What did I plant here? I don't remember what I planted here, to be honest with you. I honestly don't remember what I planted here. I'd have to look in my planner, my journal, my garden journal, and see. And then right here, pepper plants. Now these I did not plant from seed. I bought these at the store. I did. I cheated. But you know what? Sometimes that's what you gotta do. And we'll see how they do. So there's a quick update on those raised beds. Now these over here, these are the ones that I had done back in the fall with the horse manure and all of that. Oh my goodness, my tomatoes are doing amazing. Look at these things. Okay, this bed here has 6 tomato plants. I've got Mr. Stripeys and I have German Queens. They're both doing really well. Lots of blossoms, and here and there I've got a couple little baby tomatoes started. My purple basil's doing pretty well. Here. Oh gosh, that smells so good. This one, I left one of the blossoms on just because I like to do that for the bees. The other ones I trimmed off when they came to flower. Gives you more leaves. And then this bed over here, holy socks, look at that. They're going crazy. I've got tomatoes all over the place. Awesome. Back in there, I mean, there's just tomatoes everywhere. My boxes that I have down here are starting to flower. I planted these seeds just recently. This is nasturtium that I've got growing. It always reminds me of lily pads for some reason. And this was a flower. It's just starting to come up. Again, this is that really bad dirt. So I'll probably have to enrich this here to get these to grow. But you can see them right there. I forget the name of this flower, but it's pretty cool looking. Jeff picked it out. My dill down in there is coming along, if you can see it. Over on this side, I've got sweet peas that are starting to come up. These will grow up the trellis. They're just flowers for the pollinators. This one here, I believe this was passion flower, passion fruit. When I planted it, it's one of those things that may or may not come up the first year, so we'll just have to wait and see. But again, bad dirt, so who knows what'll happen with that. This bed over here is more tomatoes. These are, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember which ones I planted over here. Again, I gotta look at my my garden journal. But you see them back in there, they're doing great. Lots of tomatoes, tomatoes everywhere. Cannot wait to can some tomatoes, make some tomato sauce and put it up. Look at that, beautiful. And over here, these are more nasturtium flowers. Nasturtiums are really good if you are gardening because they are a companion plant that helps keep the bugs out of your garden. Yes, they do. So there's several of those coming up, which is good. And more nasturtium over there. Two different kinds, different colors. This here in the center is what's really got me excited though. This is comfrey. And comfrey is kind of like natural Miracle-Gro. It is fertilizer on steroids and it's completely natural. This will turn into a big bushy leafy plant. It kind of reminds me of chard or kale or something like that, but the leaves have a ton of nutrients in them. It grows really fast once it gets established, and you can make fertilizer out of these. Not only as a compost, you can chop and drop it, but you can make a comfrey tea, which is just amazing. I'm really excited to have these growing. I ordered several root cuttings. I've also got a different kind that I'm growing from seed. Those seeds are stratifying in my refrigerator right now. They're almost ready to plant. But this really makes me excited. This box is all comfrey plants. And then over here, I also had some starters growing. And I was so worried because the storm we had the other day blew this across the sidewalk and I had dirt everywhere. So I scooped them all up. But you can see they're doing really well. Very, very well. They're coming back. And there's growth in almost every pot. Now, as this comfrey grows, I'm going to do some tutorial videos and show you how to use it. But it does take a while to get established. So if this is something that you maybe think you want to do, I would go ahead and order some root starters right now and let them get started on your property. I do have an affiliate link to the provider where I got these, and if you are interested in it, I would love for you to use my link. You don't have to, of course, but I'll put it down below if you're interested in that.